Dear learners, welcome to this session on marketing of an overview. It is a part of the course MMPC 006 Marketing Management in MBA first semester. As you know, being a customer of one or other product or services, we are part of marketing. Are you aware that a smartphone in your hand is a wonder for marketing? You can check your mail, you can send mail, you can receive mail, you can connect with social media, and also you can make online order with the help of your mobile phone. So we can say that marketing is everywhere. Have you noticed that when we walk on the road, we enter to any retail store or showroom, or even we browse on our that internet browser, so we are exposing ourselves in this field of the marketing. And in this process, we leave behind a digital footprint for the marketers. With this background, would you like to answer what exactly marketing means for you? You can use the chat box for questions and answers in this session. Yes, someone may say that marketing is shopping. Yes, shopping is one act in the process of marketing. One answer is that we go to market for marketing. Yes, but not necessarily true, because with the help of this online and internet, you can order your product and services being at home if the facility is available in your locality. Someone says marketing is advertising. Yes, advertising is one element of marketing used for making aware about the product and services among customers. Someone say marketing is selling. Yes, selling is one part of marketing. So there may be different perspectives for understanding the term marketing. In this session, we will take an overview of the marketing, and the learning outcomes for the session is that after this session, you will be able to explain the meaning and concept of marketing. You will analyze the changing dynamics of marketing orientations, and you will be able to appraise the concept of marketing mix. You can appreciate the role of consumer in marketing, and you may apply the concepts learned to decision situations. So let's start with this basic understanding about the concept of meaning of marketing, that there may be various approaches to understand the concepts of marketing. However, the core of marketing concept evolves and revolves around needs and wants of customer. In this sense, the basic role of marketer is to identify and satisfy the needs and wants of customer more effectively and efficiently than their competitors. It is about creating exchanges that would raise the living standard of the people and earn profit for the firm in the process. So the ultimate aim of any business is to benefit the society at the large. We can understand these concepts by various definitions, and American Marketing Association has defined marketing in 1935 as marketing is the performance of business activities that direct the flow of goods and services from producers to consumers. So here the business activities have been in focus, but what activities the marketers have to perform, it was not given in this definition, and also it emphasizes the seller's point of view, from marketer's point of view, that it is unidimensional. The direction is from flow of goods and services from producers to consumers. the direction from consumers to producer is not mentioned here. So the American Marketing Association again revisited, and after 50 years, in 1985, they defined marketing as the process of planning and executing the conception, pricing, promotion and distribution of goods, ideas and services to create exchanges that satisfy individual and organizational goals. So the planning and executions, by considering this definition share the importance of marketing managers' conception, that how they can plan and execute the list of activities such as conception. That means conception of products or ideas, pricing, promotion and distribution of goods. Distribution, that means the place. So this definition establishes the very important aspect of 4 P's of marketing. These are the product, price, promotion and place. And the marketers use these 4 elements for developing their marketing plans and developing their marketing strategies. Then in 2004, the American Marketing Association has defined the marketing as marketing is an organizational function and a set of processes for creating, communicating and delivering value to customers and for managing customer relationship in ways that benefit the organization and its stakeholders. So here instead of the set of list of activities or set of activities, in this definition the process was focused, that the marketing is a process, and also first time in the definition the value to customer, instead of the price the term value to customers was used, and the other term that is a customer relationship. So customers got an key focus area in the definition of marketing here, and after that it is also to benefit the organizations, and not only the organization but the stakeholders. The marketers have to consider the benefits of stakeholders as well. Then in 2007, American Marketing Association has defined the marketing, and this definition still holds. It was revisited in 2017 and it remains the same, and that is marketing is the activity, set of institutions and process for creating, communicating, delivering and exchanging offerings that have value for customers, clients, partners and society at large. So here the set of institutions that have very important role. That means the marketing has a larger domain. It is not only relevant within a firm. We have to interact with other stakeholders, other institutions. So in this process, the role of other institutions outside our organizations have important. We have to coordinate with them, and the exchange of offerings and value for the customers, it is not only limited to the clients but also to the partners and society at large. So these definitions over the time, different concepts have evolved for defining the marketing. Before moving ahead, now let's further discuss the terms we have used in the definitions of marketing. One term is that the exchange of offering. So conditions for exchange to take place, so there may be the various conditions. The first condition is there must be at least 2 parties to exchange to take place. Then each party must have something the other party values this something is a product or service from marketer point of view, and this something is money from the customer's point of view. Each party must be able to communicate with the other party and deliver the goods or services sought by the other trading party. So there should be the flow of communication, not only from the marketers to customer, but also customers to marketers. Each party must be free to accept or reject the other's offer. Then the one condition can be each party must want to deal with the other party. So there is no foundation that if you are visiting any shops, then you have to purchase the products there. There is no foundation. If you are willing to purchase that, you can buy the product from the particular shop. So there is a definition in market and marketing, because the conditions for exchange, if we fulfill those conditions, so then a market exists if conditions for exchange prevail. However, exchange will not necessarily take place even if all these conditions exist, and there comes the role of marketing. For example, you may upload an advertisement on OLX platform stating that your second-hand car is for sale at a certain price. Several people may call you to ask about it. Some may look at it. That means some may visit your that advertisement, and one or more may even make you call and also can place an offer. But unless you reach an agreement with a buyer and actually sell the car, an exchange will not take place from marketing point of view. The other term was the value for customer. So this value for customers have been evolved in place of the price. So customer value is the difference between the total customer benefits that the customer derived by procuring the product or services and the total customer costs. Here the cost is not limited to the price. We can also put an effort, the energy, we use that energy for shopping, we travel to a particular shop. So that efforts is also included in when we calculate the customer's cost. So it is more than the price of the product. The other term is that customer satisfaction. So customer satisfaction is the difference between experiences, performance of the product or services and from the expectations from that product or services. So what we have received the benefit from the product or services and what we have expected. So this difference derives your customer satisfaction, and this degree of satisfaction may take place different forms. For example, if the perceived services is equal to expected services, then it will result in customer satisfaction or a satisfied customer. But this satisfied customer is also vulnerable from marketer's point of view, because whenever he or she will get a better offer, she or he may switch to the other brands or other marketers. Then the customer may be dissatisfied if the pursued services or the performance of product or services is not meeting or lower than the expected services. And this dissatisfied customer either will keep silent or it can spread the negative opinion of the product or services with the help of the word of mouth. And when the perceived services is pursued as higher than the expected services, then the customer will be delighted, and this delighted customer will be loyal to your product or services. one more terms we used in the marketing, that is the ecstasy. That if the level of delightedness or the level of pursued services is much higher than the expected services, so in that case the customer will not only delighted, he or she will feel ecstasy and will become more loyal to your product or services. At the same time, she or he can become a opinion maker. And nowadays, in the age of the social media, we see that how these opinion makers are important for the marketers. Here you can check your progress, you can share level of satisfaction derived from any of your recent purchase of products or services, and you can share your experiences in the chat box. Now come to the marketing orientations. As we have seen, the definitions of marketing have changed over the period of time, so that directed the different orientations for marketers as well. And these marketing orientations are also known as a marketing philosophy or marketing concepts. So these are the 5 major marketing orientations. The first is production orientation, other is product orientation, selling orientation, then marketing orientation, and the holistic marketing orientation. We will see these orientations one by one. So the first come to the production orientation. This philosophy states that any amount of goods produced will sell if it is affordable and available to customers. That means here the focus is affordability and the availability of products or services. And so that the initial stages during the era of the industrialization, the more focus on the mass production. So affordability is possible by producing more quantity with efficient production process to lower the cost of product. The one thing is that we have to increase the production capacity, but at the same time the cost of product or services can be lowered if we can utilize that production process efficiently. And we know that efficiency is related with the input of resources for getting outputs. So if we reduce the input costs for same quality of product, that means we are improving our efficiency. And availability is possible by mass distribution, by making the product widely available. So this affordability and availability is focused when we consider the production orientation. This orientation is effective when demand exceeds supply, and these orientations are not obsolete. Yes, their importance are less, but they are still prevailing. For example, in the case of the COVID-19, initial phases, there were the shortages of these masks, the PPE kit, the sanitizers. So the need was felt to increase the production of this PPE kit, all that things. So we applied this concept of production, and in the second wave of the COVID, there was shortage of oxygen cylinders. So oxygen productions were increased, and also the availability of the beds in the hospital. The healthcare sector were involved in creation of the production facilities, service facilities. And in other examples you can take that electricity and petroleum products where the demand is higher, and in case of to avoid the power cuts, we have to increase the generation of the electricity. The next orientation is the product orientation. This concept is based on the philosophy that consumers will prefer products that have better quality, performance and innovative features. And nowadays we see that the technology companies such as Apple, Samsung, LG constantly updates and releases their new products, new versions. So it is important for the technology companies and also for the products and service offering that we have involved in development of the new products, new versions of the products with better quality and with innovative features. The next marketing orientation is a selling orientation, and most often the people confuse between the selling and marketing. They assume that selling is the marketing. This selling orientation assumes that consumers will not buy unless they are convinced and influenced. So aggressive marketing is necessary for selling of products. For example, insurance products and other unsought goods where buyers do not normally think of buying products. The selling orientation is important to persuade the benefit of insurance-like services to the customer. It is also used in case of the overcapacity, so that the surplus product is to be cleared. So in that also we use the selling orientation. We use the concept of buy one, get one free, so that we can reduce the inventory level at the production house and also the inventory cost. So selling orientations is practiced in the marketing when these conditions are there. Then come to the marketing orientation. Actually, we have defined this marketing orientation. The marketing concept proposes that the success of the firm depends on how well it understands the needs and wants of the customer and how successfully it converts these needs into products and services that will satisfy the customer's requirements. Here, customer satisfaction is the key to accomplish and sustain the organizational goals. For example, nowadays the startups, they initiate their activities by considering the customer to identify their needs. You can take example of the platform-based cab services, Ola, Uber, and the home delivery services, Zomato, Swiggy, Blinkit. So they do follow the marketing concept. They have identified the needs of customer first. Accordingly, they develop their platforms, their offerings. And in this session, we will take this as a last marketing orientation as a holistic marketing concept or holistic marketing orientation. This concept considers the business as a whole and not as an entity with various different parts. That means in organizations there is a marketing department, there is a finance department, purchase department, production department, stores department, human resource department, personal department. So it needs that the efforts should be unified. The departments have to come together to project a positive and united business image in the minds of the customer. So these holistic marketing concepts have different dimensions. The first dimension is that the internal marketing, what message or what awareness we are trying to communicate to the outer world, it should be first internally communicated. So the senior managements, the other departments of the organizations, the marketing department can play the lead role to coordinate with other departments, and the efforts should be that the communications should should be presented in a similar way to the outward. Then the integrated marketing, here the different components of the marketing like communications, products, features and services, and the different channels we are using, that should be integrated, so that what communications we are communicating to the customers, the channel partners should also be synced with this communication process, with these messages. And also the products and services, they need to extend what communications are being promised to the customers. Then relationship marketing, we have to develop the relationship with the customers, our channel partners. Then the social responsible marketing, over all these efforts should lead towards sustainability. So that there is a concept of green marketing, where we have to consider our efforts that should not harm our environment. And also our marketing practices should follow the ethical practices. We consider the environment for producing our products, offering our services, and also we can aware our customers that how they can behave environmental friendly in consuming or using the products or services. Then legal concepts are there that we have to follow as a firm, and the community plays very important role. So that because the marketing is not limited for profit organizations, it is also, these concepts are very much important for non-profit organizations, so that the CRY, CRY and this UNESCO, all these international organizations, they also market in terms of the community development. Yes, I shared that people most oftenly make that selling is only a marketing. So there is a difference between selling and marketing. The first basic difference is that the selling orientation starts from product and it follows to the customer. That means from marketers or producer to the customer. Whereas the marketing starts from the customer, identifying their needs, and the products or services are designed to satisfy those needs. So selling refers to creating products and selling them to customers, whereas marketing refers to finding needs and wants of customer and fill them, satisfy these needs and wants. Selling revolves around the needs and interest of the seller, whereas marketing revolves around the needs and interest of the consumer. Emphasis is more on product or service in case of selling, whereas in case of marketing, the emphasis is more on consumer needs and wants. It is sales volume oriented, that is important for selling orientation, whereas the customer satisfaction is important for profit generation in case of the marketing orientation. Selling is based on short-term business planning in terms of today's products and markets, whereas marketing is based on long-term business planning in terms of new products, development of new products or services, identifying the tomorrow's markets and future growth. The selling views business as a goods producing and selling process. Marketing views business as a consumer satisfying process. Selling views customers as the last link in the business, whereas the marketing orientation views the customers as the very purpose of the business. So these are the basic differences between selling and marketing. Now come to this part of presentation. Here we will see that the role of consumer in marketing, as we have defined that marketing is a effort to satisfy the needs and wants of customer, and all our marketing activities should revolve around this need and want satisfaction of the customer. So customer is in center of our marketing efforts. So we should know how these consumers behave, what different roles they play. So that will be important for the marketers. So as we have seen from definition that marketing aims at satisfying consumer needs and wants through the exchange process to achieve organizational goals. In order to be able to satisfy consumer needs, you need to first define who your consumers are and what benefits they seek from your products or services, when and how they buy the products and services being offered. So, we will see the different aspects of consumers. So, first is that for knowing our customer, we should answer these questions. This is popularly known as 5 Ws and 1 H. So, that means who is your customer? What are their needs? When they buy? Where do they buy? And how they buy? And why they buy? So, we need to get answers of these questions that describe the customers, and in the following section we will take one by one. That means who are your consumers, that is we will take the first. So, here also when we talk about the consumers, then there are different terms interchangeably we use for consumers as customer, buyer, consumer as a user, as a client, as a purchaser. So, first we will make a difference between this terminology. So, we can define a customer or buyer as the one who actually buys a product or service. That means who is paying or who is exchanging the money for getting the product or services. Whereas a consumer or user is someone who consumes or uses a product or service. The consumer may not be the customer. He or she is not paying for getting the product or services, but still he or she is using the product or services as a consumer. And one term is the clients. So, clients are persons or organizations who use services rendered by professional marketers. So, take an example here to differentiate between these terms customer, consumer and client, and you can check. That is why here is the CYP, that means check your progress. So, here we have taken the three situation. One is the WhatsApp, other is the electricity, and one is the professional services. So, are you a customer or consumer or clients for WhatsApp? So, though you can try it and you can reply in the chat box, but here answer will be that we are a user of WhatsApp, we are not a customer, because we are using it, we are not paying for using WhatsApp. Whereas in case of electricity, we are customer as well as consumer, we are paying for electricity units for consumption of electricity. And in case of advocates and chartered accountants, the better terms in their case is the clients. They have clients to serve. The consumers plays different roles in the different buying situations. The role may be the initiator for getting the product or services, the other role may be the influencer, one role may be the decider, and as a buyer and users. So, these roles are different. The same customer, the same user can play a different role in different situations. So, let us take an example to understand the different roles. Or here example is that a kid in family, say her name is Bulbul, wants toys to play. So, here Bulbul is playing the role of initiator. Now, she can be influenced by her friends, and also if she is watching that and understanding of watching the cartoon advertisements, so she can be influenced from advertisement also. But here the major role the friends will play for the Bulbul. Then she by her friends and her parents will play the role of decider. So the parents, the role of parents will also play a very important role. Suppose that the mother of Bulbul is a teacher, so she will look for buying the toy from her own perspective, and if the Bulbul's father is a doctor, so the orientation will come in play when deciding about the toys. So the individual customer, they have also influence where the different roles they play. So as a decider, the mothers and fathers both have their stake, that how they can orient about the purchase of the toy. And finally, the mother buys the toy, so she is a buyer, and finally Bulbul will be the user. So the different persons involved in this situation are playing different role. The role are the initiator, then influencer, then decider, then buyer and users. And this role changes with buying situations. You can check your progress by attempting this activity. You may try to identify the different roles that may be played by family members in buying of new smart TV for home, and you can reply your this answer in chat box. Now, a very important concept used in marketing to specifically know the customers, and these terms are known as a segmentation, targeting and positioning, because we cannot target the whole market for our product or services, so we go for the segmentation. Segmentation means that dividing the whole or broader market into a small group, so that according to our resources of the firm, and also the product and services, nature and feature of product and services, we can target to a particular group. And finally, we position our ideas and concepts in the minds of the customer. So this process of segmentation, targeting and positioning, they filters the broad market into a particular smaller group and the narrowing down to the individual customers. And nowadays it plays very important role. The technology has facilitated that we can customize our product and offering to an individual level. So this segmentation, targeting and positioning allows marketers to gain a better understanding of customers' needs and wants, and therefore can offer best suitable products or services to selected group of customers. Now come to the second W, that is what are needs or benefits customers seek. Here also there are different terms we use for interchangeably for the use of needs, wants and demand. Let's make clear how these terms are different. The needs are the state of being deprived of something. It is a state of felt deprived of something, and this is basic in nature, for example hunger and thirst, whereas wants are the form taken by human needs. It originates from needs, but as they are shaped by culture and individual personality. Originates from the need, but wants take a different shape based on the culture and individual personality of the customer. And demand is wants backed by willingness, and purchasing power is known as a demand. Let's take an example to differentiate between these three terms. Suppose you are thirsty or hungry, you need something to drink as water or something to eat. The wants to satisfy hunger will differ. A person in North India would satisfy his or hunger with rajma and chawal, while a person from South will prefer to have curry rice. An American may want a burger and a Coke, whereas a Chinese may want a bowl of noodles. So these wants is shaped from their culture. And when it comes to the demand, a customer can only demand the wanted foods if he or she has paying capacity. So that is the demand. We can demand when we have the paying capacity. Here one term also comes, that is a desire. So actually the desire is an extension of wants. For example, if we have a 3 BHK house, so we satisfy that need of house by having 3 BHK house. But our desire may be having a independent villa. So that is the extension of your want. But it is not necessary. You have filled your necessary conditions of having a house, but your desire is that you should have independent villa. We may take another example for clarifying the demand. You may want to watch the final T20 World Cup match being played in Australia, but you can demand it only when you have money to pay and time to travel abroad to watch the match. So that we can demand only when we have the paying capacity and we are willing to purchase that. Needs are also classified as stated needs, real needs, unstated needs, delight needs and secret needs. We have taken an example in case of the car, passenger car. The stated needs is that I want a car. That means we have this, I stated that I want a car. The real needs may be I want a car for going to work with low operating costs. That means I am looking for fuel efficiency. The unstated needs may be I want good after sales service from the dealer. That means in case of the problem, the relationship with the dealer is getting emphasis here. The delight needs, I want the dealer to include some gifts or some additional accessories with the car. So if the dealer provides me additional accessories, so this will be the delighted needs. I am satisfied, more than satisfied for paying that money. And the secret need is that I want a car for the status symbol, so that the brand preference of car will differ. If it comes for the status symbol, that means the brand will play here major role. One important concepts in terms of the needs are that the needs can be classified and also it can be put in order, and this order is given by Maslow's in the form of the hierarchy of needs. So here there are 5 needs. The first one is the physiological needs, the second is safety needs, then social needs, then self-esteem needs and self-actualization. So this needs identification can help the marketers to target to the customers to which segment they need to target, because once the physiological needs like home and food is satisfied, then customer will move to the second level of needs, that is safety needs. Then again they will move to the social needs, then self-esteem needs and finally the self-actualization. Now take an example to see how this Maslow's hierarchy of needs are used. We will take the products as well as the appeal for each level. So it starts from the physiological needs. The relevant products is a food, medicine, staple items, generics. An example for appeal, that online food ordering and delivery platform Zomato has coined the appeal that never have a bad meal. Maggie appeal, fast to cook, good to eat. Now come to the safety needs. The products may be the insurance, investment, alarm systems, and Life Insurance Corporation of India appealed that जिंदगी के साथ भी जिंदगी के बाद भी. So they are trying to position their message for the safety needs. Now come to the social needs, the clothing, grooming products, social community, the relevant products will be in this category, and the Facebook appeals that connect with the friends and the world around you. Now come to the self-esteem needs. The self-esteem where the products can be the car, furniture, and Toyota Corolla has appealed that a car to be proud of. That means to fulfill your status symbol. Then self-actualization. The relevant products in the category of the hobbies, travel, education, contribution for a greater good. And if you have seen the new education policy 2020, then the vision is that, the appeal is that the educate, encourage, enlighten. So based on our level of needs, we can offer products in different categories, and we can also design and develop our message or our appeal. Now the third W is that when they buy, the buying, that there can be the occasion, it can be seasonal, like in the festive season, the demands will be different, and here the data analytics plays very important role in predictions, because we are in the era of the big data information era. So the marketers have developed various tools where they can predict when you are going to buy, where from you are going to buy, and what are your preference product or services. There are different tools like market basket analysis. In advanced classes, you will see that how the customers' behavior can be predicted with the help of big data. Where they buy, so mostly we have the two form, that is the offline also in form of different retail outlets, from shopping center, specialty showrooms or nearby kirana stores, and other important channel is the online channels. Now come to how they buy, that means how the decisions are made. So for making decisions, there are different steps. Decision making is a process, and this process involves different steps. The first is that the need recognition. First, problems are recognized, need are recognized, then the informations are searched, then based on the available information, the alternatives are evaluated based on our paying capacity, based on our preference, then purchase decisions are made, and finally the post-purchase behavior that we have talked about, the customer satisfaction that comes in part of the post-purchase behavior. Here, for example, suppose that you have identified or recognized the need for buying a smartphone. Suppose that you have the button phone presently, and you want to update this phone to the smartphone. So to satisfy this need, you will search for the information. You will search from your friends, from the websites, from the retailers, and this needs, suppose that if you have identified this need as a part of the symbol that your family members are using smartphones, your friends are using smartphones, so they are providing the information that you can get this product smartphone from various sources, and once you are aware about the different sources, then you will evaluate the different alternatives based on your price range, based on your product feature, and after that you will make purchase decision. Purchase decision, that means either you are going to prefer the online purchase, or you are going to visit a particular retail store, the multi-brand retail stores you are trying to visit, or exclusive retail store you are visiting. And after that purchase, the post-purchase behavior will develop. And here also you can take an activity, and you can check your progress. The situation is that, suppose you have recognized the need for buying a new smartphone. Okay, so I have shared the one process of making decisions, but at the same way you can also make decisions, and what decision making process would you use then, that you can share in chat box, and you can attempt this activity for better understanding of this decision making process. Now important thing is that why do customers behave the way they do? That means consumers' behavior. Why they behave as they behave? It is very complex phenomena, because every individual has different behavior pattern, and as a marketer we have to identify the customers as how they behave, so that accordingly we can design our offerings. So consumer behavior is affected by a host of variables ranging from personal motivations, needs, attitudes and values, personality characteristics, socio-economic and cultural background, age, gender, professional status to social influence of various kinds exerted by family, friends, colleagues and society as a whole. The combination of these various factors produce a different impact on each one of us as a manifested in our different behavior as consumer. So actually there is a specialization course in marketing in the name of the consumer behavior. So we deal exclusively about the consumer behavior. So if you are pursuing or planning to pursue marketing specialization, then you will get this subject in your third semester. So where in detail you will discuss about consumer behavior, but actually just I would like to share here that our decision making process is influenced by these various factors. Our information processing is first influenced by our individual determinants like our personality, our learning and memory style, and the self-concept, our attitude, our motivation and involvement. Then the external environment will affect like culture, subculture, then social class, family members, all these other factors. We are part of the society, they will influence our buying decision, our information processing. You will discuss in detail in the consumer behavior course. Similarly, the marketing environment influence the marketing activities, the organization, the customers, suppliers, distributors, competitors, supply chain, they affect the marketing efforts. Then demography of the customers, cultural and social phenomena, economic factors, natural force, technological change, political issues, they also impact our marketing efforts, and technology is playing very important role. The technology has transformed the way of marketing, that we will also deal in our specialization courses of the marketing. Marketing mix, we have identified that there are 4 P's: product, price, place and promotion. So marketers use these elements for developing marketing strategies. So I think we have left with 5 minutes. So it will be better now to stop here, and we will take the question answer. Before that, I would like to conclude the session that understanding of who are consumers, why they behave in the manner that they do, what influences their behavior, and how you as a marketer can influence in your favor is important for marketing of products and services. Once you have an understanding of the needs and behavior of consumers and know that their behavior can be influenced accordingly, you can plan and develop marketing strategies, because in customer-centric marketing, all our focus, all our activities should revolve and evolve around our customers' needs and their wants, and our ultimate goal is to satisfy these customers' needs and wants, at the same time taking or considering the society at large with sustainable marketing or green marketing. So now we can take question and answer. You can share your this Yeah, check that. We can see that question answer. Just see, wait. Yeah, this is related with the selling and marketing once again. I already shared that most often we use the marketing in terms of selling and selling in terms of the marketing. So the question is that we go to shop and buy products. Shopkeeper sells the product and we buy the product. Then why this is marketing? Why this is not a selling? Actually, what you are getting a product from that retail shop, that is the one part of marketing. But from where that product comes to the retailer, how the price of that product is fixed, how the product is manufactured, all these decisions are part of the marketing. That's why selling is an essential part of the marketing, but marketing has other activities that is to be considered. So we can say that selling is a limited view of marketing. In terms of the marketing, we have to consider other functions as well. Yeah, then other question is that, it is a good question. What to do if customer is dissatisfied? Very good question. Actually, the first thing that you can do is listen to the customer patiently and carefully and respond with honesty and sincerity, because there may be various reasons for customer dissatisfaction, and it may not possible in your capacity that you can solve that problem. So at the most, first try to solve the problem with sincerity and honesty if you can. Otherwise, inform the persons who can make decisions in your organization. It is also to be noted that there may be various reasons for customer dissatisfaction, and it may not always be a part of marketer or the product or services. In present era of the technology, where we are using the self-service technologies, so the customer awareness is very important. As we know that in process, the involvement of customer in the process of the service creation, the customers are equally important and they play an important role as marketer. So importance of that customer awareness, we can take an example that, suppose that in the ATM machine, there is the ATM machine is filled with the cash, the ATM machine is functioning properly, but even after that, a customer is not getting the cash from the ATM, because if he or she doesn't know how to operate the ATM, from which side the ATM should be inserted. So here the role is that we have to aware our customer for using the services. So for customer satisfaction, actually various strategies are there, and in the specialization area, especially in the case of the service marketing, there is a part of unit about the how to take the service recovery cases. In terms of these are known as the service recovery. If customers are dissatisfied, then how can we manage them? What are the different strategies that we can use for as a service recovery measure? So I think now there is no, I think we are also come to the end, looking to the time also, and also you can share your answers and what check your progress CYP that I have mentioned in my presentation, you can attempt that and you can answer that later on also on chat box. So we can exchange our views on those your answers. Thank you very much.